Hello, my bonny bairns, and welcome to Not So Straight Talk on the, what the day is it, 24th of April. It's myself and Noma Divine, and theoretically, Giza Gobble should be here.
She bloody better be.
I know. I'll put that like that. I'm sure she'll be here in a minute. Sharon's here, so she'll be coming soon. I hope.
Who's Sharon?
Sorry?
Who's Sharon?
Giza's auntie. They're the same age, but it's her auntie. But then she's for that call, so Lanark, some beginning of my nail. Right, so I'm no surprised that she's the same age as her nephew. So hello, Lewis, how are you? Hello to Sharon and hello, Lynn. Are we all having a good week? Have you been enjoying the sunshine? Take off that wee banner there because you don't need that one.
It's been a day chair with the sun in it.
Oh, she's here, good. I'm not patting her on the screen. She looks better than us too. Well, she looks better than me. You look fine.
I speak for yourself.
You look fine. I look like death went up. Hello, Giza. How are you, darling?
Oh, I'm absolutely smashing.
Wonderful. Oh, God, we're getting numerous comments. Oh, God, I'm now going to have to reposition my name going that way. That'll do. So, how have you been this week? Have you been enjoying the sunshine?
Oh, can't get me out of it. You're lucky I'm covered.
Aye, we're all lucky.
Well,
it's disgraceful. No, it's been really lovely having the sun. I did consider trying to set up my tent outside, but that just wasn't going to work.
Well, like an army tent?
No, like my 3 sheets that I've got pinned to my walls when about me.
No, a Salvation Army tent, that's what she does at the weekends, going and banging a big drum.
You couldn't pay me to support the Salvation Army. Well, actually, we'll kind of come on to that later on. Right, we'll be talking about the LGBT Alliance getting charity status. Another organisation that shouldn't have charity status is Salvation Army due to their homophobic views, but we'll not talk about it.
Well,
this was a better outfit choice when I picked it. It looks lovely on stage. It's a very nice, like, B. Arthur style, pants and top. On here, it just looks like I'm wearing a jumper.
Aye.
Yeah.
I'm having costume problems as well. This is a two-man kind of costume. It's not zipped up proper at the back, so my shoulders do fall out. I do apologise.
Cutting off the shoulder number.
No, intentionally.
I see we've all went for some sort of brand of purple. My eyes should be purple. Noma's wearing a purple dress and Giza's got a lilac wig. Is it lilac?
It's lavender. I'm going a wee lavender dream. That's what I am.
Lavender. Oh, so Sharon said hello to you, Giza.
Oh, hi, Sharon.
So, let's get started.
It's rock and roll.
I'll put the one in that I didn't put in the list before, just because I was listening to it in the radio earlier on.
Oh, that's nice. Thanks for that.
I'll just be quickie. So the post office appeals. Have you saw or heard about that?
No.
So basically, what seems to have been happening is all these postmasters and postmistresses were arrested at jail for stealing money from the post office. And it turns out that they weren't stealing money. It was an IT issue in the system that was causing the accounts to be wrong. And all these people had to sell their house to try and pay back money that they never actually stole, but they were all charged. And there's now appeals.
Did Sally get a wee weekenders about the post office doing the finances and fuck it up?
No, they've got a new system and they started using the Horizon system, and it basically some sort of issue in this system meant that all these postmasters and postmistresses lost their job, were charged, arrested, imprisoned, some of them, for stealing thousands of pounds from the post office, had to sell it their house and all this, and they've now got appeals because it was an IT issue in the system.
But should it really be appealed? Should it not just be taken away because nothing's wrong?
I don't know.
See,
I
if I
would
was
have thought that, but
if I was a postman, I would slap somebody.
I'd be delivering a parcel and I'd take it.
no, see, that's the thing. The post office and Royal Mail are two separate companies.
Oh, that just confuses issues for my wee brain.
It does. It confuses me as well. The post office, where you go with your parcel and where you can pick up parcels and deal with all your postage needs, is not the same company as the wee man that walks around the shops and puts things through your slot.
I just call him uncle.
Just go.
I call him a regular.
The story's getting sadder because people are commenting me with information that they know. So yeah, some of them have passed away after being told that they were guilty of theft, and now they've
It's not
realised
funny, but it's just awkward.
that there was these computer errors, and like people have suffered strokes, committed suicide because they were basically told that they were thieves. Like proving in court that these people had stole this money, and they've now realised that there is actually a computer error. So
But how can they prove it? Did the money actually go into the bank?
No, it was just money missing on the systems.
Could you think in this day and age, especially the post office, that they had physical money they could get to? Now that it's all through computers, it needs to be the IT department. So how the hell is some random postmistress who's no fully a part of the IT department gonna sell a couple extra grand? And how would they know? And if it was happening widespread, how the hell would they know?
Didn't match up to the money that the system said they should have been banking.
To be fair, like I work with computers and I'm not that tech savvy, right? But if I make a mistake, it's very, very obvious that a human has made that mistake. Was this a human error or was this in the system?
Me. Was it?
This is why I work cash hand.
What do you do with Franklin? Get your money up front, get in the handbag that's at the top of the piano.
Well, it does really. In Dragon, some page in cash, you put it somewhere safe, which usually like a handbag or your suitcase, and it goes with you.
Mine goes in my tits. I've got a divine right, my left's no bad either.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, the image.
So I was quite shocked about that. The fact that there's all these people that are now having to appeal decisions and sentences because I've realised maybe there is a wee computer issue with it.
See, that's why you can never trust computers.
I know, I could barely work a Tamagotchi.
See, if it was a human, you can interrogate them, and they're usually crumble. I'd like to fucking see you wheel in an Apple computer and interrogate it. Right, you? Where'd it go? Did you do it? Where were you on the day of the 14th?
I love that you went straight for interrogation. You're full on torture with the pliers.
Don't make me turn you off at the mains. I'll reboot you.
All right. Just in case there's anything.
Oh, I just realised I can see the comments in this. Hang on.
And you work with computers?
It started in 1999, and a lot of them pled guilty just to get a lesser sentence.
It started in 1999. See,
Wait,
technology
it
back.
started in 1999?
1999 is when this new computer system went in that was then showing up that these different postmasters had been like stealing money or embezzling funds and all this.
Do you know what I think funny? The person who applied this system probably it's the latest system, it will never crash, it'll always work. It's better than anywhere in the world. Been failing since 1999.
Basically,
and it's never been caught before. See, this is why I don't trust computers.
I'm shook.
No,
but your computer does listen to you, so thank you.
You're collected. Where are your tips? I put them somewhere safe. I'm to work out where I put them. I'm sure they're behind the bar.
Francis, you need to hurry up because you've been talking about you bought these tits about a year ago.
And it was about a year ago that you bought the tits.
Katie Price can get tits quicker than you.
I might have to mail them out. I'll arrange a socially distanced meet in Glasgow Green.
Did you? I would bring a carrot back. I've just told them.
Is that what you're after, big boy? Trying to arrange it a time I'm ready in all this. So so no, there's no cash in those tits. So as of Monday, I keep on saying tomorrow, but it's Monday. Lockdown restrictions are changing in Scotland. So the shops are open again. All your shops are open. Your bars and cafes can open. You can get a drink outside up until 10 o'clock. You can get not a drink inside up until 8 o'clock. You can go to Primark. Well, I'm pretty sure Primark's already been open. All the shops are open. So what do we think? Do we think it's a good idea that things are open tomorrow? Is there enough easing? No, tomorrow, Monday. Is there enough easing? Should there be more easing? Should there be less easing? What do you think about the lockdown restrictions that are due to change in Scotland on Monday?
I don't think it should change. I quite enjoyed lockdown. I think it should just stay shut forever.
Same. I'm no fussed.
About fucking time. I know you don't. It's not the first thing you think of, but I need some foundation from Primark.
Aye.
Is that actually good? I've yet to use it.
It's creamy but no oily. It's quite thick as well.
See, I'm allergic to foundation.
I need some new knickers. My gusset's gone in the rest of them. So it's elastic.
I could do a couple of new pairs of Spanx. Right, so Sharon thinks pubs should be the last things to open. Why?
Well, when you're intoxicated, you don't really think much about anything else other than continuing to drink. So you're going to forget about all the rules and the guidelines. And with shops and stuff, you're always going to have that person at the front that's like, oh, take your temperature, or, only a certain amount of people in kind of thing. But with a pub, the rowdier it gets, and then fights and all that stuff. And people are just going to forget because they're drinking.
Fair enough.
I think later on, because there is people at the doors and all that. Like there are bouncers and bar staff to keep you under control to a level.
That's fair.
Maybe they should open later because it is one of those things. But then that whole section of hotels and all that should be the same.
I find pubs safer than a lot of places. Definitely safer than Primark because they are so strict. But pubs that I was in were open before. Because you do have people going, sit down, stay in your seat, put on a mask. But I do understand the whole idea, like when people are intoxicated, they start becoming assholes. But I understand why they want why the focus is on schools, but it's the schools that keep fucking us over. They keep opening the schools. The rains are passing the coronavirus. They take it home. The kids might not be affected by it, but they're becoming carriers. They take it home. Numbers skyrocket, and they're like, "Oh, we need to shut the entertainment industry." How? Shut for a year. We need to shut pubs. How? They've been shut for most of a year.
That's exactly why you should swallow.
I second that. A good gurgle and a swallow did nobody any harm.
You two are vile. Vile.
So we're just dragging it up a wee bit.
You're not going to like this, Lewis. You're not going to like this, no.
I seen it about 10 minutes ago. It was a wee
bit. See, there's 3 schools in Ayr that have been shut with outbreaks.
Well, that's because they're not doing so. I was told they're not doing social distancing anymore inside the schools.
They never really have.
True, but now it's like, you don't have to officially.
No, I'm not happy. So, I'm not happy. I want to be back wearing tights with an audience rather than just doing it in the house. I'm starting to feel
like a creepy uncle.
I'm starting to feel like a creepy uncle. You know what I mean? Sit in the house or sitting in my work by myself,
How do you think I feel?
Makeup, you know what I mean? Wig on and all that. Starting to feel like a creepy uncle.
I know I'm getting lazy now. I've not even bothered putting eyelashes on the shock horror. Plus, I ran out of time.
No, I put the eyelashes on, but as much as this is a trouser and top set, and it's lovely together, I'm not wearing the trousers for it. I'm still wearing the jeans. I mean, I'm fully done. There's tights, there's spanks. I'm even wearing the.
I mean, I've got a gown on in my good jewels.
I've got a pedicure. I don't know why you're like going the full hog. Do you know what I mean? Just go for it. Yeah, so
I don't get tucked. I'd stay tucked. Never tucked in my life, would I?
Wait a minute, I'm gonna have to. So
Emma,
I disagree. Every pub I was in, the pubs were heavily controlled as they have their lives at stake and you only got table service. I've seen more contact in Primark at my local supermarket. As once they're in, it's a free-for-all. Bars, you could only move to the toilet and one at a time. I feel like
bars are safer.
Hospitality was a lot more controlled than Tesco was. You know what I mean? Once you were through the door, it was a free-for-all, and there was always some arsehole that wasn't wearing a mask because they were exempt that reached over you, and you're like, wait 2 minutes to pass it. You know what I mean? I
think everywhere's got lazy though, isn't it? Because Tesco and that's been open for so long at the start, a lot more people were like, right, we're not all going it together, we'll no shop as a family, we'll take the distance, and then as longer and longer it went, just like, fuck it, it's just Tesco going. We might wear a mask, we might not.
Yeah,
Tesco holds a couple hundred, a bar only holds about half of that, like 30 odd now.
And to be fair, I've not left the house except for a wee walk here and there. I've not actually went, even when they lifted the things, I never went to the pubs. I've not really went to shops. So my assumption is just based on what happened before lockdown. So whenever you went to a pub, you forgot about everything else.
Yeah.
So if they are strict, brilliant.
Any bar that I've been in has been very on the ball with it.
Mm.
Good.
I mean, checking your temperature, getting your tracking trace, telling folk to sit down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I was out in Liverpool in a pub and I felt like a broken record because it was constantly sit down, put on your mask, sit down, put on a mask, you don't fucking understand. If Scotland goes to war with Liverpool, I might be the reason. But I'm looking forward to things opening up. I think it's going to be interesting to see what does happen because a lot of places that aren't going to open in May and June that are allowed to open at certain dates. But a lot of places have said they're not open next year because it's not worth a while.
Mm.
The crazy thing will be. The crazy thing will. I was going to say the crazy thing will be when the shops open back up, finding all the businesses that have gone bust. Because right now they could go bust and you just wouldn't know because nowhere's open.
Aye.
But when that opens back up, find out, oh wait, that's not there anymore, or that pub is shut. Like how much it would decimate like the high street and certain businesses. Like the lockdown's been weird for some. It's made you go like bankrupt, and some have made a mint on it.
Aye.
There's like no weird middle ground to either. All these people lost their job, then all these people gained a new job and they went to spend it and saved all this money.
Mm.
I mean, the lockdown has kind of saved my work because we were a skint charity, a very skint charity. And because of the different grants and funding that we were able to get throughout lockdown, we are now in there's actually money in the bank account rather than us living in overdraft.
I lost my job. I was a door-to-door and summer saleswoman. It's gone up this morning. At least they don't need to traipse that big dildo to the street anymore.
I'm trying to get that through a letterbox.
Anyway.
So Shan's looking for the tattoo shops to open back up. I couldn't care less about tattoo shops. I don't do needles. But
She's had enough small pricks in her life.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that are wanting like tattoos and sort of stuff like that. So yeah, when they open, because I get that's another thing that people are like, oh, why is tattoo shops opening? Tattoo shops are really clean because even without lockdown and restrictions, they're masked and sanitized. And
like, I got a tattoo during the easing of the first lockdown, and it's by appointment, so it's literally just you and the tattoo artist in a shop. And you go for your designated time, so you're not bumping into other people. You're all masked up. They wear gloves anyway. Every time they use the tip of the needle, it gets flung away and they get a new one. Everything's clean. It's like going to the dentist.
Aye. Jackie.
I just really went for human interaction.
The hairdressers. And see, to be honest, you
They
can't even call that roots. It wasn't even roots she had. Right. She had blonde tips now. Right, well, can't say she had dark roots. She had blonde tips. And it was past the stage of being roots.
Like, I keep on forgetting that skeezer. I'm just so used to seeing that flowery t-shirt and all that. Like, I can't.
You've seen Gladys, not Geezer.
Oh, all right. I was like, what flowery t-shirt are you talking about? I know. It's like, it's proper like two different personalities at this point.
Welcome.
That is very sweet and nice. I'd take to say what Jesus like.
She's just a ride. Put it blunt. Just like give her a good time.
Out of order ride. Full of ups and downs.
Ups and downs. I'm like a megabus. Just give me £1, I'll take you where you want to go.
You'll probably throw up at the end of it. Or during.
Most likely during. No enough snacks.
It's a message for me.
Massage. Sure, can Fran just not give you a massage? Just get the crisp and dry. If you've no massage, I'll just get the crisp and dry out. Rub it in.
You could walk out, it'd be your only chance. That's a Thai massage.
Was that what Thai massage is?
I did like the deep tissue kind of ones.
Right.
Where the ladies will hold the bars above you. Walk.
Could you imagine me trying to walk across someone's back?
I know. We just have to wait for the funeral for them, wouldn't we?
I can get done for manslaughter.
I nearly talked about killing my dog, but I really don't think I can say that on here.
You probably could. That's the safest joke out of them all.
That's the safest joke out of them all. So I was a wee fine from the PDSA for killing my dog, but it's not my fault, right? I didn't know the dog was allergic to peanut butter. It was allergic to nuts. So next time I'll use jam in my arsehole.
There's a donut I'm not wanting to see. Jesus.
Oh. Like shitting through a wicker basket.
Oh.
I'm going to agree and disagree with you in that, Chico. Yes, that'd be great. But it's Sod's fucking law that it'll be like this for a fortnight, and on the one night that show's meant to happen, they'll be fucking pissing down if Scotland tries to do outdoor shows.
Like I think the whole drive-through drag thing that like started in America and then it's coming over here now is quite a good idea if you've got the weather. I think there's something quite exciting about like touring, and it's literally you pull up, you open up a van that opens up into a stage.
Oh, touring, was that meant to be sort of like segue in there?
I don't need a segue to mock or I am kidding.
Yes. Because we've started planning our tour.
By planning it, we've had a meeting.
We've had a meeting. We have got 14 places on the list that we want to go to. And I did the dates check today. There's only 6 dates. So that's
a short tour.
So in terms of like the availabilities, it works out to during the period that we thought it was going to be, that there's 6 dates that all of them are available to do. There's 14 locations on the list of places we want to do. So it'll be fun. And if it's the list with me, I would tell you where all the places we are, and you could help us work out where we should try and target but I've still got the list in front of.
Oh.
Details of that will be forthcoming in the next few months.
Do you know, I can't get comfy. I was beaten early and I forgot to take my cream bath. It was on too long.
Oh.
I burnt myself.
I'm surprised you're smelling burning flesh.
On the burning hair at this stage, we're locked in.
Oh.
On the wings of love. I'm not.
Yeah, like with the drive-in drag shows, you need to have access to a car.
You do with dogging, but it's never stopped me before.
Fair enough. I think there is the possibility that you could do like outdoor shows. It's the control of it is a nightmare. And it goes back to it would end up being the wrong people who would be running the online shows. Not the online shows, the outdoor shows. Who would go, that's fine, we're going to do this show, we're going to do it here, set it all up, but forget that they've also got to get police permission, road closures.
I don't think it would work unless it was a big company that events usually ran through would be able to do it, because you need money for that. You need like bouncers and the permits and all that kind of thing.
I would
at least with this, you just need some internet connection.
But it's
Nappy Bellstar, that's 50-50. I don't always say that. If this runs out, I'm going to tell my mum to get running in the back in the wind turbine.
So that button, that's it. So that button? No, that button. So the lottery.
Never passed it in my life. Change of age.
And you now need to be 18 to play the lottery rather than 16. Which I kind of agree with because it's gambling and all that. But there's now no rite of passage at 16.
You can get your hole. You can get married. That'll be the new one. Oh, we'll go from the wee nice joys of just buying a scratch card to fuck it, we'll get married. It's my right.
But it was, you buy a scratch card at 16, you get a provisional at 17, you get a pint at 18. Right. Yes, you've done all that shit before then. But still, like,
I never got a scratch card a few weeks ago.
Do you know?
No.
What, like a wee scratch card?
No. And I played a lottery before, like once or twice throughout my life. But
I've spent a lot of winnings. I've still no put on a ticket.
I get too nervous to go back. Like, say when you get like a scratch card or something, it's like, oh, you've won a 5 or you won a 10, and I'm like, oh, cool. But I'm too scared to go back.
You just sitting in a gold mine? Well, they'll be out of date now, but
I 2016, but I'm like, my anxiety gets too much for me. I'm like, I could go back, but don't be like, here, I need money.
I get my 5 back? No, do you know, I think we're those people who will play scratch cards and they'll win, and they'll have like 42 different scratch cards and they'll have like £100 one, and they just go into the shop and say, right, these are all back out in scratch cards. I'm like, that's a problem you've got this. I'm just put my charge in, don't escape it.
Aye, because when I worked in retail and you had people that bought, there was a certain scratch cards that they bought and that they played, and they would come in and spend £40, £50 on scratch cards, and then their winnings, but in the one, just get taken off next week's thing until eventually they win like big money.
They do it with the slot machines as well, until they just keep on firing it in. Mm-hmm. And like everybody's allowed to advice, you know, if you smoke, you drink, you've got your thing, having a wee bet's yours.
I used to work for Gala Bingo, and the amount of people that just they would win huge money, and then they would just put it all into the puggies again. And I'm kind of watching them going, "You've just won big. That's treat yourself. Get a Chinese."
See, that's the thing. Like, see, with smoking, fair enough, I might lose a lung. Oh, I've got another one. Gambling, you can lose your wrist.
I'll be honest. I work above an amusement arcade, right? And I have.
I nearly sang something there. Sorry.
No, you're not singing that. Yes, it is live, Angie. And
I'd love it if it wasn't live, and is that an old video and us in a pre-record? Aye, Angie, it's all.
And I'll go down, spend a couple of pounds. There's certain machines that I sort of like, spend a couple of pounds. Right now, if I won a couple of pounds back, I might fling it in. But if I won £50, the £50 went to something.
Is that all? A few times I've met you, you're like, oh, I won like £100. I've got 70 left. I'm like, what? I put some of it back in.
Put some of it back in.
Just in case.
There's still some of it. Like, what I mean is, I wouldn't say, like, there's people who will win £300 at lunchtime, and at 4 o'clock, they're still sitting at arcade, putting their £300 back in, trying to win the 500.
I think it helps that I'm a wee bit slow and I don't know how any of the machines work. I just keep on pushing the button and pulling the lever.
Same. I used to have to fix the
button. You need to press the autoplay button, you're sorted.
But then it's to join it. Like, I don't know how any gambling works. I don't know how to play blackjack. I don't know how to play roulette. Don't know how to work the pugging machines.
I can do
I only know bingo.
All I can do is the penny fall machines. That's about it. I used to enjoy them as a child.
I'm not a fan of them. They annoy me. The
no,
annoy me because you keep
gets my juices flowing.
Fall.
No, it gets my blood a pumping. All that excitement.
I love the wee claw. I'm a big fan of claws. I love that thing.
I like those kind of things where you've got a higher chance. I'll want something for my money. So when you gamble and it becomes like a regular thing and you don't win, what's the point? At least with penny falls machine, I can see it happening. It's a wee bit of excitement. I can get the woo. But putting them a pound in this big, massive fuck off machine that's basically just a bank.
Aye.
And you're not seeing anything happen except from me being spin.
I mean, I used to have to fix them and all sorts, and I still don't know how they work. People are like, oh, this machine's broken, and I'm like, is it? Cool.
They may as well change the age. Every other age is random. You don't need ID for eyelash glue or razors, but you do for Red Bull. So I know, just...
Aye.
You can't gamble till you're 72.
Don't say that. I know folk that'll... I think it's going to be... It's going to be interesting to see how the amusement arcades do after lockdown, because a lot of the we'll call them big customers have had to move online, and are they just going to stay online? Are they going to go back and put the pound in? So there's Tracy Clark saying her son's not happy as he wanted to start getting a line a week. Same as his brother and his sister when he had 16 in August. He's already picked his numbers. And he says, no, wouldn't have been bad at it. Israel is only one line Wednesday and Saturday, so £4 a week.
But to be fair, somebody could put that on for him. Just give them the money, somebody put it on for him. But I suppose the thrill is doing it yourself.
Like, I remember turning 16, and I think you could still buy fags when I turned 16. You could.
You can still buy them now. You just need to be 18.
That's giving away my age. And I remember buying a packet of cigarettes and a scratch card. I remember it was when I turned 18 I bought the cigarettes. No, because I already had my friend by then. Anyway, but that was a big thing. You turned 16 and you bought a lottery ticket and a scratch card.
Do I find it amazing all these people say, I would ever win the lottery, I would do this, I would do that. Do you play the lottery? No.
That's what I'm saying. I've played the lottery winnings. I know exactly what I'm buying my lottery winnings. And I know exactly how much. I know how much I'm winning as well, which is weird. I've got it in my head that I'm winning 40 million. Right?
So you're just waiting for them to announce it's 40 million prize, and you're like, right, I'm winning it this week.
I know why it's 40 million. I know how much is getting donated to specific charities. I know how much is going to certain people. I know what I'm buying that is for me, and what I'm buying that although those people are getting money, they will also have a share of this other thing that I'm buying. I don't know why it's 40 million. I don't even play the lottery, but I have spent the winnings. I know what I'm buying.
Do you know what's quite weird? You know, like an old woman thing. See if I find money or win money, and if it's no like a massive amount, that's when people say that's lucky. You should go and bet on it. Like if you walk to, like one day I walked to Tesco and I found a £5, and someone says put the lottery on with that. I do that kind of thing.
Oh no, I just get more biscuits.
Ask how she says bourbon cream. How do you say bourbon creams?
Bourbon.
I'll get to fuck with both of you.
What? Just because I'm a fancy girl?
It's because we say bourbon and she says bourbon. It's a bourbon.
It's a bourbon. Boah.
Ask Google to say it. Ask Google how you're meant to say it. Ask Alexa. Alexa, how do you say bourbon cream?
She's going to repeat it back to you though.
Well, ask her the proper pronunciation.
So that's, I think, online gambling has a lot to answer for. I've never bought a scratch or a lottery ticket until my work's at my syndicate, and I was scared of being the only one turning up for work on Monday if it came up. So though we've never won big, I'm in the group. For me, it's worth my £4 a month. Yeah,
we do that. Yeah,
we do that in work as well.
Like I'm not in a bonus ball club, but I know that there is bonus ball clubs going where you're putting your £1, whatever the bonus ball is, they got all the money.
I think the fear is it is very addictive, isn't it? It's one of those hidden ones. It doesn't physically hurt anyone. It doesn't physically change you in any way for a while, but it has a lot of bad repercussions if it goes too far.
Yeah. If it gets to the, like you said at the start, it's fine, but then it becomes addictive. It becomes like a way of life, and then you kind of up the ante a wee bit, and then you keep going, and
it goes from 1 week to a week.
Exactly.
But that's what I mean about like the people that I know that, and I've watched people spend all day in an amusement arcade.
Yeah.
Like they go in at 11 o'clock and they come out at 6 o'clock, skin. And not only skin, but skin and own other folk in that amusement arcade money.
I remember I paid for a woman's taxi home because she couldn't get home. She'd spent it all. I had, and working at Galabingo, she was there, like you said, first thing in the morning, and it was, I can't remember when we shot. It was like 11 or something like that, and she was penniless, and I was like, I'm not leaving you like that, and I bought a taxi home. I was like, I just don't understand that mindset, but it's tough if that's what you're.
The next one's going to be the winner. The next one's the winner. So they put everything into these machines, and they are addictive. So I do agree with it in that stage of making the lottery 18 because it is technically gambling. But I feel kind of sorry for people like Tracy's son who are about to turn 16 and are looking forward to being able to buy a lottery ticket and be able to buy a scratch card.
What would the 16-year-old do with all that money?
What?
If it was a lot, what would the 16-year-old do with all that money? Like, I feel like as a nation, we're no longer very wise with money.
No.
Like, how to handle it. Like, how to use it wisely. So giving a 16-year-old, nothing against 16s, I'm sure there's someone that's very financially smart and would save it, maybe. But what the fuck would a 16-year-old do with 40 million?
I don't know. I still don't know why I think it's 40 million, but in my head, I'm winning the lottery. I don't play a lottery, but I'm winning the lottery and it's 40 million.
I feel like you can tell a lot about a person by what's the first thing they would buy. And for me, it'd be new plates. There's just something about getting new plates to me that I'm just like, oh.
Do you know the weird thing? I win a lot of crap, but I'm not very materialistic or money-oriented person. I would probably just sit it in the bank and wait till I wanted something. Or maybe just retire and just enjoy it. There's nothing like, I would maybe buy a house.
That I'm going to buy, I know what I'm buying. It may not be the first thing. I may buy something before that. Probably a packet of fags.
I would buy something that makes me more money. Buy something that makes me more money, either it's investing it or buying a few houses.
A house. Get in the property market.
You see these people who are like billions of pounds within 4 years it's gone because they go mental.
Aye.
Like that could have lasted you your lifetime, your children's lifetime, and your grandchildren's lifetime. So like, save half and spend half. Make it work.
Yeah, I know how much money's gone to my work, because I couldn't deal with you. Just hand in my resignation. I'm leaving. I've won the lottery. And she's like, "So how much are we getting?" Because you know that she'd turn up at my house and going, "No, how much are we getting?" For a charity. That's our.
Me and Sally would be singing, "The Finger Girls are coming, and everybody's jumping."
I would buy one or the other, potentially both, a bar and a venue.
Yeah.
Sally would get money as well as a percentage of that venue. They would own a percentage of the venue, plus they would have money. Maybe not understanding that they had to stay with Beth for at least 5 years.
Keep your money.
Fuck off. And I'd buy like a new car, and I'd buy like a flat, or maybe a couple of flats.
I mean, I know you've got a lot of costumes, but that's a wee bit. A couple flats. They wouldn't even be to let out. They would be for your storage. You would start all with best intentions to let them out. They would turn into storage. Another 5 years from when the lottery. Hoarders UK. Effie. I'm not rich. It's no longer hoarding. It's collecting. I'm a collector. I collect hussies. I collect Diet Coke bottles. I collect fags. I collect dresses. I collect wigs. I collect eyelashes.
Diet Coke bottle.
Fancy. Well, I like Diet Coke. I like my Diet Coke.
Oh, she loves the Coke. Big Coke, small Coke, all Coke.
Only sugar free though. And it has to be the actual brand and stuff. Oh, that's not.
I agree. Susan. Is that Susan? I've not got glasses on.
Right, see, all look fantastic. How else she hates you because when you said Alexa, it answered her. Okay.
Alexa, what's the best sexual position?
Shark. Right. No, right. Here we go. I'm keeping my mouth shut and I'll get your opinions on this, first of all. As well as any opinions that our viewers may have on the topics up for discussion. So, what are your thoughts, Keys, on the LGB Alliance receiving charity status in England and Wales?
They're missing a couple of letters, aren't they?
Potentially. Well, they're not missing, in their view, they're not missing letters.
They're entitled to their wrong opinions.
In their view, they're not missing letters. Do you think the LGBT Alliance should be a recognised charity?
It's a kind of double-edged sword because I'm glad that the LGB is getting a charity status and they're getting the help, and that's great for anyone that is LGBT. LGB. But what about all the other letters? What about all the other people that identify as something different that are part of that community that are now being excluded from that? So it's great for the LGB, but what about the other ones?
It's great for some of the LGB.
Yeah.
Or what I have saw coming from that organisation.
Why do they want to be a charity? Is it just so they get a big tax break? They can pay themselves their money, get a big tax break, and then have they survived well enough without being a charity?
Basically, it means they can now take money off people without,
and don't have to pay taxes.
I mean, they can now accept donations.
Well, to be fair, I think the missing letters will be like, oh, do we really want to be associated with that anyway?
I'm not going to lie, I don't know too much about it. Like the ins and outs. I know what they should be doing, but I don't know the ins and outs of how well they've been doing that or how bad they've been failing at it.
From the information that I have saw, and I'm sure someone will correct me, the LGBT Alliance's main purpose is to remove trans people from the LGBT. Right? It's basically about making LGB be LGB and be all about same-sex attraction
Well,
and
get to
about the rights of people who are same-sex attracted and about sort of like their rights.
I don't understand that, because we, for years, have been fighting to break down walls and barriers, and here's a new thing that's going, oh, right, we're going to separate that. What's the point?
Can I be honest? Guarantee they're probably white.
And then, no, the nice kind of white.
There'll be BNP members and all.
I'm sure that they've got a wide range of members and all that. Again, who I have so associated with it have primarily been
white males.
No, white females.
No? Oh.
White females.
Well, what's interesting is one of my friends who is very pro everything, they were happy with all this, and I was like, and I explained to them, and they were like, oh, I had no idea. The way the LGBT Alliance puts themselves forward, they word it in a way that makes it sound great. So it's their wording, it's very alluring and misleading to lure people in.
It's just sad that people from a community have been penalised and tortured and have fought for everything that they have so far, and know the struggle, and know that no one's given the human right to say you don't get to call yourself that, you don't get to exist, is now giving themselves the power to say you don't belong in our group. We know you're really picked on, penalised, everything, but we don't care, in our group, because we say so.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that it's all lesbians, and I'm not being lesbophobic and all that. The people
Let's be honest,
have all been lesbian, and I do wonder, and a lot of the
is it an underground one of the ones?
Homophobia that I've always community always seems to come from females, and I always wonder whether it's because lesbians don't necessarily receive the same problems as other people within the LGBTIA community.
That's a fair point, because
I'm not saying you don't get any bullying or anything like that, but
yeah,
it's been
I feel like a feminine
rather than.
But do they have the added on top that they are a woman, so they've got all that to go along with it as well.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that, but with things with the sort of like the internal homophobia, transphobia, or fighting within the community, the majority that I have seen, again, I'm not saying that this is actually the case, the majority I have seen seems to come from white lesbians, and that's why I sort of wonder, is the reason I notice so many white lesbians doing it is because as much as they do have struggles, someone find out you're a lesbian, they get excited to know a lesbian, they're more likely to ostracize a gay man or a man who's sex with men or someone who comes out as trans or is non-binary. Lesbians seem to be more acceptable to the wider population.
I don't know. I've never walked in their shoes. Yeah. I mean, I've literally walked in their shoes. That's what I do for a living. I mean, metaphorically.
No, you haven't. You've not been in a pair of Doc Martens.
But is that got to do you think, with the way we see masculinity? As soon as we see a feminine, male, they are attacked and bullied and all that stuff. But a feminine woman, a masculine woman isn't seen as that bad compared to that.
But
I think it is.
I'm not being like before, and it's literally as so many, when so much of the issues around sort of trans issues and people with gender critical views rather than say transphobic views, gender critical views, the majority that I see, and it's probably just because I know a lot of lesbians through different jobs that I've had.
I don't know many.
Do you not know any lesbians?
I know some.
All right.
I wouldn't say I've got any in my immediate friends circle or social circle.
I don't have any in my immediate friends circle, but on like my Twitter and my Facebook.
All right.
I know more bi people than I know lesbian people.
That are happen to be like lesbian. And they're the ones that all seem to be very like women's rights, which yes, women's rights are a whole sort of thing, but very they claim that they're not being listened to, which that's fine enough if that's how you feel, but also aren't willing to listen to other side of the argument a lot of the time.
And anyone watching this back, I don't know what you identify as, but this might get hit with 3 men dressed up as women talk about lesbian problems.
I'm not talking about lesbian problems. I'm saying the majority of the transphobia that I have saw has came from lesbians. Now, I'm not saying that lesbians are transphobic, and I'm not saying that they are the worst case. I'm only saying what my observation has been is that's where I see most of it coming from. And is there a reason for that, or is it just because? So, is there a reason the majority of the transphobia that I see is coming from lesbians, or is it just that it just so happens that the lesbians that I know have gender critical views?
I just feel a lot of people within our community say they don't, but they like to put themselves into boxes and labels as long as they've created it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like as a community, there's lots of big divides between everyone depending on what group you fall into, whether you're older or you're younger. You know, bears, twinks, daddies, old generation, new generation, middle generation, gay, straight, gender non.
Did you just call us middle-aged?
No, I just pointed forward because middle's middle.
Right, okay.
You know, now there is something for everyone, and each new generation, new problems come to light and new things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the LGB alliance is new? Is it old? Has it been a thing that's been since the 80s or something?
No, to my knowledge, it's the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Right. Because I was just going to say, if they have this big problem with the T and the transgender community, maybe it's because within the last 10 years, that's when it's really became prominent and more acceptable on people on primetime TV, and we all get to see it more. We in the community all was it was there, and these humans existed. Maybe because do you know what I mean? So each new generation, something becomes the new face of the movement, and if you're no part of that, you either fight against it or you fight for it. So they're just like bicking between each other. Basic is you might not understand it. The least you can do is respect it, no matter what it is.
Yeah,
that's the minimum anyone should do.
With some of the literature that the organisation has put out, that they should have charity status. As someone who works for a charity and has worked in the third sector quite a lot, I think there's going to be issues further down the line with them having charity status, because charity status gives them protection from certain things and allows them to do certain things that private individuals can't do and that businesses can't do. So, provided they are going to do their charitable services, that's fine, and are going to promote LGBT issues, that's fine, as long as they don't use their charity staff to promote as long as they use it to promote LGBT issues rather than to discriminate against any other group, whether part of the Alphabet Mafia or not, then fair enough. But I feel as if it's gonna come back and bite someone in the arse.
My bottom line really is, and always has, and most likely will always be, include, never exclude.
Mm-hmm.
I have no issue, as long as you're respectful, I have no issue with you coming into my home and I'll protect you. But I'm never going to exclude you as long as you are respectful. And they're excluding people that need protection.
And it's usually straight people are the worst for that because they assume they own everything.
Yeah.
I just thought about this, right? And I don't mean it to be funny, but see, like if it seems from your experience of known lesbians, it seems to be people who identify as women who do it. Do you think it's because they've got that kind of no fear? A woman can shout at a man knowing that he's never going to hurt her, so she will shout and scream and demand the full Karen thing. I'm a woman and this is what I want women to be because I know.
Yes, to an extent. I think there's that. As much as there always has been a gender imbalance, there is a slight gender imbalance there. There's a lot of I'm trying to think how I say this without saying the wrong thing. There is a lot of women who will sort of do that to their advantage. I know that I'm going to give it up. I agree with the Goldberg. If a woman wants to hit a man, she's been prepared to be hit back. But with the same token, I would never hit a woman. But overall, I agree with if a woman is big enough to hit a man, needs to be prepared to be hit back, even though I don't think I would do it.
But that's the thing. People always kind of go to that argument of, like, oh, if you want equal rights, then that means, women need to, we'll be able to hit women. Why is that the first place people go? Like, why are you so desperate to hit?
I'm not desperate to hit anyone.
No, you. Well, no, you. But I mean, like, in general,
sometimes there is some people I know, whether they're male, female, or hippopotamus, right, that I would not tire a slap.
I think maybe people go to slap because it's the last thing that separates us. Like the feminist movement has came so far forward that women can now do it in nearly practically everything a man can do. That's still the only thing that's in public zeitgeist. But that's the only thing in public knowledge that is still morally and weirdly wrong.
Yeah, it just even with like gay marriage, people are like, oh, men will be able to marry men. Next, they'll be able to marry animals. And I'm like, why are you going there first? Are you that desperate to marry that cow?
I've saw some sexy cows.
I'm bringing sexy calf. No, but I think it's just the happens like because we all see it, isn't it? Like the girlfriend, the boyfriend will have an argument in the bar. Sometimes the boy will be hit back or do something, but usually the boy will try and just talk and she'll fling the drink or slap him or fling him about. And everybody's, oh, on you go, hey, you do that, he deserves that, that's terrible. And they'll turn their back and let her do what she wants. As soon as he even sneezes and flinches in the wrong direction near her, it's like, boom.
Aye.
I don't think it's right in any sense.
No, I don't think it's right in any sense.
And someone said to you about lesbians who are in the radical feminist movement. Do you think that's maybe another reason of the radical feminists? Because what I've always understood for feminists is don't see us as a pair of boobs, don't see us as wearing pink, don't see us as vagina. See us as a human and we can do everything you can do. We just want at least the opportunity to get paid the same, treated the same. That's my basic understanding of a lesbian. I'm sorry. Feminist, right? So if it is radical lesbian feminists, say, who may have a problem with transgender men or women, they are the prime object of, like, they're saying as a trans person, don't see me as a pair of tits. Yes, I may have not been born with a womb. Doesn't make me any less of a woman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would think the two communities would have more in common, but the problem is no one likes to share their argument. Here's our movement, and we wanted to be number one, and we want to fight for it. Don't you start stealing some of our spotlight. We want it all for ourselves.
Aye. Why can't we all just make big rainbow cookies, love each other? What?
I could hear a TikTok, like I can hear my womb.
Why can't we all just love each other and get along?
Well, that's boring.
It's never going to happen because I fucking argue with everyone.
No, we need a bit of drama.
No drama.
No drama here. Radical feminists are what I thought. There does seem to be a shift, not with some feminists who have moved from equality to superiority. So my understanding of a feminist, and I could be wrong, was that women should have equal rights to men. But there is a group of feminists, and I do find it weird to see drag queens talking about this. A group of women who
drag queens are the biggest feminists.
Want now what's that superiority to men, which I can understand because imagine how much better the world would be if it was run by women.
I mean, to be fair, every single war started by a man.
Think about it. Yeah, women have always done better. Think about it. Margaret Thatcher, Theresa May, they've done crap.
I was thinking more like Nicola Sturgeon, Jacinda Ardern, you know,
Patti LuPone
impact in the community rather than like. I don't think Theresa May didn't do it. Well, no, she did do quite some bad shit as Home Secretary.
No, she did a cracking dance to Dancing Queen. You're forgetting the great bits.
And as Prime Minister, she did some dodgy decisions, but she was never as bad as Thatcher. But
like, all honestly, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. Not one is superior, so it doesn't matter who runs the country. It's the individual person or party they're aligned with.
Yeah.
Like, we are equal. The only difference is physical things that we can't change. Not all men, but men are built different. Men are built to carry heavier physical loads, things like that nature. I'm not saying women can't do it, of course they can. And not all men are strong and elderly. Women use different sections of their brain, grow different sections of their body, biologically. That's the only difference anymore, I would say. But that's just my experience. I've never had to be in this.
There is still a pay gap. There is still a pay gap issue that women do still only make about 80% of what a man makes.
That is no fair. I just don't get how that works. How can that still be allowed?
I don't agree that you should be paid differently because of your age. If you're doing the same job, you should be getting the same pay. Why should I get paid more than Lee gets paid for doing the same job? We don't do the same job. It was just the first thing I could think of. It was like the bracket below. Oh no, Nomi. Why should, if me and Nomi did the same job, why should I receive more money per hour for doing that job than Nomi gets?
And then there's also some places that do it on how long you've been working there.
I don't have an issue with different rates of pay due to experience or due to sort of like company loyalty. Like, you know, when you've been with the company 10 years, you get an extra 50 pence an hour or something like that. That doesn't bother me. But if I apply for a job and do the exact same job as someone who is 16, 17 or 23, why is a 16-year-old getting paid about half of what I get paid as a tablet at 50? You know,
I don't get that, but you know, it does annoy me. See when you're at work and you see people who don't bother their backside, it's like they get paid the same as me and I'm doing my pan in and they're doing bugger all. That bugs me.
But there is and I kind of agree with it to an extent, but not totally. Minimum effort, minimum wage.
Sorry, I'm really hungry.
If they're on minimum wage.
Where did you get that plate of pasta?
That's just
Where did you pull that out?
I saw Sticky Vicky, don't ask questions. It's chow mein.
Is that okay?
Right. Minimum wage for minimum effort.
Well, there's two sort of good points there. There's been multiple good points. Just these are the ones I've sort of noticed. There is a big sort of difference between, especially when the pay is like between 25 and 45,000, right? A white heterosexual man is more likely to get the 45,000 than an ethnic minority woman. It just,
I also hate the fact that the fancier job title you've got, and the further you move up, the more you do, the more you get paid, and sometimes usually the less the actual work.
Aye.
Yeah.
And then
Do you like a teacher is more than I sorry.
Lewis also makes a comment that the way that a lot of it happens is the roles that the different sexes or genders do. So a janitor and a cleaner or a caretaker do the same basic tasks and job, but a cleaner will be banned, whatever, but a caretaker is this band, a janitor is this.
It's just like one of the things that's so ingrained into it, because back in the day, men did work more or longer hours, or were the only financial giver.
I mean, well, the start of the whole sort of pay thing was that women weren't expected to work until about 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, women were expected, or maybe not expected is the wrong word, but most men had jobs that allowed them to support themselves, their wife, and 2 kids. Now, with the way that the economy is and the way that pay is at the moment, a couple can be working and still be on the breadline.
Mm-hmm. Because living wage isn't living wage.
No.
Cost of living goes up, but wages don't. We'll give you an extra penny in 5 years. Well, that's great, because that penny was calculated for this year's year of living. In 5 years, it's going to be double that.
It should be called the surviving wage.
Mm-hmm.
Just dropping it. I feel very proud of that. I'm just saying.
I'm not complaining. I've got quite a good paying job.
Oh, same. But my heart goes out to the people that are in that situation. I've been saying this a lot when I'm on live and things. I feel guilty during the whole lockdown for being able to work and be all right. That's I feel guilty about that, but
no, I get you feeling, but no one should ever feel guilty for their life. You can't help it. But I get you. You can understand why.
Mm-hmm. But like, I was lucky that I was able to go on furlough and still receive a wage during lockdown. Whereas a lot of people have just lost their jobs.
I only got a job halfway through lockdown, the second lockdown. In the first one, I was unemployed. So you get benefits, but depending on your circumstances, the mere financial things you have to pay for, technically the more you should get. But I was expected to live on 250 quid a fortnight.
Oh.
But it did go up during lockdown. They did give you extra allowance during lockdown.
So you're getting 250 a fortnight for not working?
Between us, I'm returning about that. Or is that monthly? No, I'm sure it's fortnightly. You get it.
I'm just thinking of
maybe monthly.
There's people that I know whose wages are less than that, and they don't receive any additional benefit.
A month.
That's fine. Like, I know someone that gets. I think they get more than that now because I change up like what the wage was. And I'm like,
I never wore tights in this dress.
I don't want to tell this person to quit their job and go on universal credit, but I'm like, if they're going to be better off financially, quit your job, go on universal credit, and then volunteer 3 days a week and come and do your job.
Aye, this is a whole different topic. It's all swings and roundabouts, the whole system. Joey, like, in general, the system helps little and hinders most.
It's quite it's very fortunate.
What is unfortunate, especially because you get viewed on your partner's wage as well. So I have worked with people, and I'm sure many people have worked with people who work 15 hours a week and won't do overtime, because if they do overtime, their husband or common law partner can end up losing like their disability benefit because they're now making more money that month.
And do you know what's been scary to see during lockdown? I sometimes have to get taxis to work and I bump into a few people. And they're all saying, I own my house. If I could go back in time, I would just rent it because as soon as I went unemployed, I got sacked, the council just pay your rent. I still need to pay my mortgage. Do you know what I mean? Their mortgage is £400 every month, they'll need to pay that. If your rent is £300 a month, the council like, we'll cut that in half and we'll pay it.
Aye. Although you're owning and renting,
in the long run, yeah.
Because there's people who have spent their whole life renting and could have owned their home by now.
Yeah.
The rent, you're just paying someone else's mortgage.
That's why I've got a job. I'm saving up for a house. I don't want to change subjects being sensitive, but all I've been thinking since I came on here is I look like the mum out of the Flintstones.
Maybe back.
Like if this bit was up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Definitely like mum out of the Flintstones.
Just needing a pearl necklace.
Well, that's the next thing. Where's my giant pearls? And I'll look at my giant pearls. We'll put you in the
and your car, and your and the storage unit at the side of the spare door.
The spare door. A spare door.
You've got your door. This is the main door.
Right,
You've got your foot. That's your back door. And that one's your spare door.
I know there's a spare tyre in my car. I didn't realise there's a spare door.
Oh, I know I put a wee bit of weight on during lockdown, but there's no need to call me a spare tyre.
The spare door. Do you mean the passenger door?
Aye, that's what I meant. You wonder why I don't drive yet.
Don't know. Although,
more topics.
No, that is all the topics. If there's anything else that you fancy talking about, feel
I love
free.
your earpiece over together.
Me?
I mean, I know it's all yours, you mean, Shakir. Who dyed it for you?
I got it commissioned by somebody on Instagram called Carmel's Creations because I can't do wigs. I'm trying to learn, but
I can just a wig.
I can give it height, but I can't do this.
I can just a wig. I've got old wigs that I am getting ready for a panto, which is backcombing the fuck out of them and then attaching in things.
Like a head wrap. Do you notice how she's got very good at that?
And one of
that looks so glamorous and ready under that head wrap. It's
by BBC. I'm not meant to know that it's getting redone by the BBC, but someone borrowed costumes and wigs from me, and I gave them 2 hard-baked wigs, a whole lot of costumes, and an old lace front. I'm like, it's fucked. It's still sort of semi-usable, but if you don't want them in a big hard wig, there's that one that you could probably get away with for the 5 minutes of them filming this wee monologue, right? And then get told that after, I don't know whether it was used, but basically that wig was then sent to the wig makers at the BBC to fix, and they are not very happy with me because they say that the wig's dead.
To be fair, unless the wig cap is completely but then you can wash in a couple of times, but can wash it.
That's done. It's been put in rollers and it's getting redressed, and it'll be beautiful when it comes back. And I'm like, I'm awful glad it's that wig we saw because I've got wigs that are in a worse state than that one. That one was good. It just needed reset basically. But no, they're like,
I can't do styles. I can just tease it a wee bit and brush it out and squee with it or that direction, squint it to make it look presentable. It's enough for me. Other than this, I don't really do structured hair. I really just natural-ish, and an unnatural colour.
Well, after somebody semi-wrecked this when they borrowed it. Not wrecked it, but it come back and it's like a staff man. I've now realised how easy this wig is actually to do. I just go, but I don't have the patience to do it. But all this, I thought, oh, this all went back, combed and styled up. It's not 3 donuts in a ponytail, and then you just curl the ponytail, and then it's just draped over and pinned in.
The more you know.
Also, this was all beautifully styled up, and yes, there was something stuffed inside it, but thought it was all sort of like styled up and curled round like that.
Yeah, I remember back then.
Been pulled through a donut, all curled, and then each of the curls was individually like pinned in to make it all swirls. Now it's fucked because it's all coming.
No, I remember back in the day, every queen would style a wig, and it was just a known thing that they put carry bags in it. Doesn't matter what the style was. I'm not teasing it. We're just going to shove a carry bag in it to get height. You'd be doing the gig and you'd be moving. You hear.
Aye, but now everybody's got these bags for life, so you're going to end up with like square wigs everywhere.
No, but I think that's what's it. People have got better things, like they will spend the time teasing it, or they'll get donuts as the actual.
Yeah.
Like queens now take commissions. Like when I remember starting, is like there was 1 or 2 queens that were great at wigs, but everyone just used to do it yourselves. So you watch a few videos. The easiest way for height is tease a wee bit and shove a bag in it.
Mm-hmm. Or double stack it.
I put 2 wigs on. The only wig style I've ever learnt to do to make is a ponytail. No ponytail. Like
aye, the high ponytail.
Aye, but you put the bottom wig in a bun and you clip on the other piece.
Oh, do you mean like a clip-on ponytail?
You can use a clip-on. You can just use another wig.
Noted.
I learned that watching Ellie Diamond's live years ago. When she was learning to do wigs, she would post herself making one occasionally. It's like, oh, this is the easiest today. Shove it in a bun. 3 ponytails, you pull it up, bun it, clip that one on.
See, these are tips that I need.
I can't get the wigs anymore, but Nirvana wigs on eBay used to do an extra volume wig, and my first couple of wigs wear that because all you had to do was hold it upside down, brush it and shake it and spray the fuck out of it, and it became this big
Marilyn Monroe-esque wig.
Marilyn Monroe bouffant, right? And I have that wig in copper, right, for Sally's tribute. 2 or 3 of them I had in blonde, a brown one and a white one. Because the white, right, and they were so easy to work with. They're not lace front or anything like that. So easy to work with, and they make these lovely sort of like big wigs, and they don't sell them anymore.
I don't think they sell my wig anymore, which is worrying because I only wear the one wig. I can find the colour, which is all right, but I can't find my wig.
The sort of standard.
And my wig gets better the older it gets. It styles and sits better the longer I've had it. But it's easy for it to go from looking chic to fucked.
But my wigs are like that. My wigs get fucked quickly. Like,
I'm nervous to even touch my wigs, to be fair.
I've had the same wig for about 3 years and it gets kept in the bag. The bag it came in. I take it off and put it back in the bag, take it out of the bag, brush it, shove it to one side, whatever side I'm feeling. Whether it's sunny or rainy, who cares? Just shit a bit and quaff it, and that's me. Back in the bag at the end of the night. I've not got. No, you go.
Oh, I was going to say, I bought myself a bunch of wigs to practice on, but when I brought them out, they were too nice as they were, even though they were like flat. And I was like, I don't know, I don't want to ruin it to the point where it's completely unusable because it's a nice colour, it's a nice shine and all that. So I don't know if I'm trying to find people that will take, if I could send them the wig to make rather than them having the wig already to send to me. I think.
But most wig makers will do that for you and just do it for the charges as a restyle rather than as a new wig. So Big D, I think, does restyles from Manchester.
Restyles are usually more expensive because they need to take out whatever style's in it.
Aye.
Oh, these are straight out the bag.
But that's it. If someone
That'd
that
be
does
pretty
it,
cheap then.
will probably be able to do that for you.
Like I got this one off of Jazz and it was quite cheap because it was a brand new wig.
I don't know whether Taz does styles if you provide the wig. It possibly does. Rujazzle does wigs that you can send and she'll restyle them for you or style them because they're new wigs. Who else does wigs?
Amazon. So I get that.
I think does wigs. But it might be that she just does her own wigs.
No, that's good to know. I might pop Rujazzle a message. What's there? They've got is Jazzed Up Wigs, isn't it?
I think it's Jazzed Up Wigs.
I'll drop them a message and see.
Do you know what I find weird? We just on the topic of wigs. Like when I started, each like drag queens would learn to be a specific skill. I'm not good at any of the drag skills other than performing. Like I kind of I know, but you know, like every queen, some queens could perform and sew or do wigs or do makeup. I can't not really good at makeup and command. I've not got other.
Make everyone's costume, and a different queen did everyone's wigs, and then somebody else was really good at making jewellery. I don't do any of that. I can brush my own wigs and sometimes make them the way that I want them, but I can't do wigs.
I can do my wig, I can do my outfits, I can do my face. It's when you do it for other people you realise how fucked up you are at it. You really don't know what you're doing.
I can't wait to actually like attempt to do somebody else's face because I feel like makeup is the only thing, like makeup and performance, like the only things that I've got going for me in drag. But I'm trying to do as much as I can, you know, like wigs and things. But I can't wait to actually try and do somebody else's makeup, just to see if I can actually do it, or
I know that my face won't work in anyone else. No,
I've done your face before and it's been fine.
No, me doing my face and someone else.
All right.
I'm not saying that it wouldn't work, but I know that in general, how I do my face scares a lot of people.
Before and after.
I bet it's people who have watched a lot of drag makeup tutorials, and you do this, you do that, you do the next thing, and there's me, you know, it gets slapped on, as you can tell. And 9 times out of 10, it comes out and it's worked.
I'm the same. It's like I didn't get into drag through makeup. Do you know, like a lot of people will love makeup, so they start drag or they do design and costuming at college, so they'll try drag, or they do hairdressing so they can do the wigs. I only got through it performing. I can paint my face, and I've got a lot better at my face. And I can only really paint my face when someone else has got very similar structure.
Well,
I've never been one for like, I don't know how makeup works. I know what tricks I use to make my face feminine in the face I like. And I've never done big extreme makeup. Giza's makeup is polished and clean and well done, but it's bigger than mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember back.
Just a bit of lip gloss.
No, do you like back in the day, like Transgender and Rujazzle's wig? It's the big bright colours and the very sculpted lines in the eyes and all that. It looks like they know what they're doing in makeup more than someone who does say this. Because But
I think that's because your drag has always been about the fact that you are a performer who now plays the female presenting character, rather than our drag being about how we look.
My makeup is like, I remember years ago doing gigs with Lawrence Cheney, and if he got one little smudge here, the full face was off and he start again. He sits and sits for hours to get it precise. I just want to own. Of course, I want it looking good and I want it presentable. I just want to own. Like I'm the only person I know that does my face this way. Is I glue my eyebrows. In between layers of glue, I do the bottom half of my face, full foundation, contour, powder, lip. Then do then do that, then do my eyes.
Here's a question. See with gluing your eyebrows, right? Because I've had, like, I get mixed things with this, right? When you glue your eyebrows down, do you let the glue dry before you powder?
I let it dry a little bit because if it's too wet, you get oatmeal eyes. It's a little. I leave it a little tacky, so I'll stick enough where you can touch it, you don't get stuck to it, but no like bone dry.
Right, because I've, like, for how long I've been doing it, as soon as the glue's on, I've powdered it, and I've never had an issue.
If that works for you, do it whatever way works for you.
No, so I'm like, not confused, but I'm just like, why? Like, that seems to be the rule. Like, your rule is the rule of thumb, wait till it's tacky, because then you'll get oatmeal eyes, but I've never had that, and I'm like, what is wrong with my eyebrows? If I'm not turning into oatmeal?
I think it's just whatever you're taught into it. I've watched videos and then watched a few other queens doing it, and they would always say, through their experience, if I put powder on too wet, it goes clumpy. But it mean that I get my makeup on as quick as I can. I've done it on the Megabus, I've done it in Effie's car driving down to Blackpool. Do you know, my eyebrows, I know they're the sisters, no twins. Mine couldn't even find each other on Ancestry.com sometimes. They're that bad. But I know a lot of people will just sit and glue their eyebrows and sit and wait for it to dry between each layer, and then they'll do like the end thing seems to be eyes first. Like you put all your foundation, you do your eyes first. I'm like, no, one layer of glue on my eyebrows. By then I've got my foundation done from here up. Second layer, I've done my white contour. Third layer, I've done the dark contour. Then I leave it, and then I do my eyebrows, and then I cover it all, and I go from there. And my eyes are usually the last thing I do.
No, my lips are the last thing.
My eyebrows, I can't do eyebrows. That I'll leave them to the last second. Just absolute anxiety.
I was so bad at makeup for so long. I have to do them first because if I left them last, I've no time to take them off and redo my face. If I do it first, I can wipe this layer off, and it's fine. But if I leave it last, I need to wipe everything off, like everything the eyes up and fix it.
Because my eyebrows are so high up in my face, I'm able to leave them last, and if I fuck it up, I can just wipe them off because they're nowhere near the rest of me. So I'm like, but some drag queens do the fierce eyebrow.
I look like I can't.
So you've got the fierce eyes that don't suit my face, and that joins to the rest of your. Mine don't. Mine just float there, and I'm like, I
can't do shapes well. I need to put my eyebrows on first because if I don't, my eyes start doing different shapes. My eyebrows and my compass will where I cut my creases and I know how far up I can go with things.
Aye.
If I left them last, I would do my eye makeup. I would end up with back in the day, my eyes just used to get bigger and bigger. Sometimes they'd go straight out. Sometimes it'd be circles. Sometimes it'd be blobs. Who knew? At least if I do my eyebrows first, they'd roughly come out the same shape. But I've been doing this 5 years, nearly 6, and I've only recently started actually getting good at makeup. I was shit for ages, and then I got presentable enough when it's a finished product. You'd be sitting there bald and your zipper and all that. I think my makeup's shite. You put everything on, it's fine, it works. Now I can sit there with my bald cap on, my zipper, no tights, no nothing, and look at my makeup and go, no, that's good on its own right now. That's fine.
Aye, that annoys me with drag queens that could look good in a hoodie.
Aye. Like for years, my makeup, you could only see my face in full drag. It's the only way it's presentable.
Alana Delay was one of those people that in a hoodie, a face just looked right. Like we did Anti-Gender Show in Manchester. We went to bar, both of them were in full drag, and Alana was in a hoodie, but it's still the face on, and it didn't look weird. And it's not as if she's got a particularly natural looking face in drag. It was clearly a drag face, but it worked. She's in a hoodie and boy hair, and it worked. I hate stuff like that. Whereas I look weird without the wig and everything on.
Yeah, if I take my wig off, I pretty much look like I've escaped from somewhere. Like I should be quite like I've ran away for the circus, and my face is tattooed like that. It looks bizarre.
Yeah, I think when you paint more extreme and bigger like you do, you get away with it because you can only be a drag queen.
True.
I mean?
Yeah.
You walk into a shop, people know you're a drag queen. You're not anything else. You're a drag queen.
I could get rid of someone with the more kind of feminine illusion makeup, like yours. With that, yeah.
Like depending on what outfit I wear, obviously the wig gives it away in my voice and my height. But depending on what hair I've got on or outfit, if it's a bit more moderner, if I say, and I walk into a shop, they could think I may be trans, I may be cross-dresser, I may be a woman, I may just like it. Because like my face is a lot softer and probably a lot more feminine, but I would say it's still drag enough. Like it's a big black eye and like lip liner. But as if like lip liners makes it drag, but
no, but
seem like Effie's face is very panto and damey. They know she's not walking into a shop and what as a woman.
I'm not trying to look like a woman or pretend that I'm a woman. If I walk into a shop and get petrol after a gig, before a gig, and between gigs, I'm clearly a performer, pre-post, or in the middle of a show.
Like, you are not saying you won't get a bit less likely to get weirder looks. Like, what is that? Or who is that? Or the comments of the whistling and that.
People have whistled me as well.
No, I'm not saying they don't.
Mainly it's because they thought I was a dog and they wanted me to come over.
No.
Still
to get you just go off your couch.
If they whistle at you and thought you might talk to you, it's because you're a drag queen, you're fun and big personality. With me, until they talk to me, they don't know what they want. Do they want to get a selfie with me? Do they want to hurt me? They don't know yet. So it's a wee bit weird. I mean, just don't get it in my bag.
No. To be fair, there is people that have saw pictures of you and have made comments.
And a lot in person as well.
Give me the heebie-jeebies as well.
So that's the thing. Like, I want to be recognised as, that is a drag queen. I don't. Yes, there's like a type feminine illusion, but I want to be known. That is a drag queen there, even without the wig or the dress.
That's why I think the face. I've got my face a bit more extreme now, but that's why my personal style and taste is a red wig. Women, whether they dye it, really aren't going to get this colour. Or furs in sequence and gaudy and a bit more old-fashioned, like Liza Minnelli, Cabaret singer, Judy Garland, things. It's like I'm an entertainer.
Yeah. See, I love that. But I'm waiting for the day. Like, what happened to you? I'm waiting for the day that somebody looks at me with the drag queen makeup and they're like, "Oh, I would."
Do you know? Have you ever watched Jackie? Have you watched Jackie Beat? Jackie Beat does Instagram lives, right? And she was talking about this time that she gets a lot of men who want to sleep with her. It's like, and they ask her like, "Oh, do you dress more feminine in a ponytail?" Like, no, they want to sleep with Jackie Beat. They want the full, like, same like Lady Bunny. Oh no, we don't want you to like soften your makeup and pretend to be more a woman. We want that.
And there is people that like. Having sex with drag queens because they like that either they know that it's a big hairy man underneath it all.
I am as smooth as a dolphin, Effie.
No, but like that sort of, they're not looking for a woman or a trans woman. They're looking for
a drag queen.
They're looking for a drag queen.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like as a drag queen, depending on your personality, for straight men, you can come across as quite mumsy. You're the one that annoys them and slags jokes them, but they let you away with it. And you're close to them and you exude sometimes, or I think I exude like a feminine energy. Like, oh, come on, son, I'll give you a cuddle. Kind of all mumsy and pump up.
Well, that's why I'm anti-Effie. That the whole point of it is that the auntie that gets you vodka. So the auntie that you can go to. You know what I mean? You've got knocked up. Fuck, I can't tell my mum. Go to your auntie Effie. She'll sort it out.
For me, drag is like a third thing. I'm not trying to be a woman. I'm trying to be a drag queen.
Aye.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
I love, like, it's usually straight men or older men, but the drag queens who pretend just to be a bloke in a frock. You know, they don't change anything. They're just, their whole running gag is, I'm a mate, all right, mate. And then you get some who's like, no, I am woman. And then I think you'll get us who are like, I'm this third creature. I'm a feminine thing, but I'm a drag queen.
Aye.
Yeah.
That's
what I like. That's what I want to be. Yeah.
Aye. Think of me as your auntie and your mum or Jack's mother or whatever. But just remember that I could probably poke you in the eye if you get me too excited.
No. Just think of me as Nanny McPhee. When you don't want me but need me, I'm there. When you want me but no longer need me, I'm gone. I don't know where it's gone with that.
I was waiting for that to be really insightful, and I'm like, kind of there.
It's just like a fair, isn't it? You only appear to provide a service. Get your mind out the gutter. You only appear to perform. You appear in full whoosh, like in that movie when a fairy appears and it's the full hair, dress and everything. You go, what can I do for you? Oh, I'll sing you a song, I'll do a wee sketch for you, I'll tell some jokes, I'll get you a wee drink. I'll only see you for 3 hours and then I'll disappear into the night and you'll never see me again. Unless you come back next week.
Aye.
Can we just appreciate that Nomi thinks that drag queens appear as full whoosh? I don't know why that killed me.
I do.
Full whoosh.
I demand that the lights be turned off and Effie smokes at the side of the stage and fans it, and I just go, turn them back on. Whoosh.
Love it.
So we know what the tech budget's going for the Sub-Zero tour then.
Smoke machine. Whoosh. No, but it's like, have you ever been like, a drag queen just seems to walk into your life. It's never really planned. You can go somewhere with it. Like,
where's you going with this?
You can go somewhere where you know drag queens are going to be, but it is like a magical creature. They just kind of saunter into your life, make it a wee bit sparkly, then disappear again.
Right.
Do you like drag queens? If you work in a bar, right, you could be out here in a fag and there's someone sitting in, and then the drag queen walks in and they just go whoosh. The drag queen's walked into your life. Like, I'm tired. I'm just going to shut up.
I mean, if you're just waiting, just letting you go on.
I'm just talking about the magic of drag. We kind of whoosh into people's lives. I'm going to get a t-shirt saying that. I'm just whoosh.
Okay. Right, okay. Fair enough.
Drag queens appear like Cinderella, they appear after midnight. I charge extra after midnight.
As much as like after we've done a show, I'm quite happy to go out as Effie. I don't like going out as Effie if I've not done a show. That always feels weird. I also do enjoy the places where you sort of do the show and you take it all off, and then you get to walk past everyone at the end of the night and nobody fucking knows who the fuck you are.
Oh, I love that.
It's also why I like playing Dame, because if needs be, I can walk out after the show and get out past everyone better than Jack and Jill can, or when it's not a best of hand, the fairy and the demon look the same when they take their makeup off. Right. In general, the Dame can, if they can't be asked with the audience, go off stage, take their shirt off, put on their jumper, and walk out, and everyone just thinks there's another bloke that's been at the show.
See, I don't get that. I feel like I look quite similar.
You look quite similar, but if they're not looking for it,
yeah,
like easily.
I just think drag's magical.
It's magic.
It's a total whoosh sensation. It's not the ass sensation anymore, it's the whoosh sensation.
I'm trying to even remember. I'm trying
to get pills for that.
Try to remember that.
We're all there Oh, I can't even remember. I was trying to do the
A dream is a wish your heart makes. Whoosh when you're fast asleep. Impossible.
This is not what you want to see when you're fast asleep. This is sleep paralysis demons right there. Fast asleep. You sleeping? Yeah. Would you like to sing the karaoke?
I feel like if Auntie Effie was like a sleep paralysis demon, you would come in and be like, "You want a game of cards? You right? You got a light? No, okay, right. See you later."
It's like, I'm not going to be a cunt to you the night I've had my diet Coke. No, it'd be, I need trusting PayPal link below.
I'm wishing more funding now for that. I still want to do the telethon.
I'm happy to sell my used underwear.
A telethon?
It would be on Facebook, but that's the idea. So, so like running for like 3 or 4 hours with multiple different performances that people could just sort of like come in and out and donate.
Children in need.
Aye, Bailey Children in need before the Penelope can trust them.
A big variety show that just goes on super long.
I could die. That'd be fun.
See, there's someone there trying to get cast. Oh, that sounds fun.
Just saying, I'll self-cast myself.
I cast you out. I cast you out. I watched a documentary about that today. That was fucked up.
I love people who try and self-cast, just to try and self-cast in other people's shows. I don't mean things like that where it's like a variety show and you're booking that act and they're like, oh, that sounds great. If you need anything, let me know.
Yeah.
People, like, in terms of like our parody shows and plays, that will literally come up and tell you, I'll play such and such for you. No, you will not. Like, we did Hocus Pocus. I had messages from Drag Queen saying, I'll play Winifred. I'm like, Winifred in the cast. Sansa's as a cast. We are casting for these roles. No, but I'll play Winifred for you. That's not how this works.
That's the thing. I'm one of those people that if something like that needs casting, I'll be like, if you can see anything that you think that I'd be all right in, let me know. You know, I don't want to appear like a self-caster. Just be like, if you need me, just ask me.
Nanny McPhee.
But that's like, and there is stuff that you could just sort of cast for, and it's not like that. It's fine, but it's the people that will literally tell you the role that they are playing in your show, and you're like, I'm not casting for that. Luckily, no one's come up when I've been auditioning for Panther and said, I'll play Dame for you, and you're like, no, you can play the king and be my understudy, but you're not playing Dame.
If you wouldn't even let me and Sally play Dame.
Yes, I would.
It was meant to be my turn this year, but the lockdown rules have changed. We're opening later, so we're doing this panel. So we're not even moving the panel that to the next year because that's a completely different panel. So my turn's another fucking 2 years down the road.
It's just how it works. And if you say it's just the calendars.
The calendar. No, yes. When we originally thought we were opening earlier, the original plan was that Britannia was reopening with an adults-only panto, and Naomi was playing Dame, and I was playing Fairy, and Sally was playing Dame. But now that we don't have it open until later, it'll just be back to Jack and the Beanstalk, where Naomi's playing Fairy. Do you want to play Dame Chalk?
No, I'm going to get my wish moment.
I think
I wanted to play the Dame. I wanted to play. Giza, you look good as a fairy godmother. Oh, you know recasting my bastard in part and all again? Oh, I'm always the one that gets fucking recast and shoved about. No,
this year. Give them what they want, Naomi. Give them what they want.
It can be this year. But if we ever do Cinderella, we could potentially...
She could play the dragon.
Who's the dragon in Cinderella?
There's always a dragon in a fairy tale.
That normally eats the fairy godmother.
I was thinking about Sleeping Beauty, never mind. It's been a long day.
So when we made this Cinderella last time as a sort of online thing, and I played fairy godmother and baroness, if we're doing that live, we could easily cast Giza or someone else as fairy godmother, and I would just play Baroness.
Mm.
That'd be cute.
I've picked next year's show anyway, but it'd have to be the year after. Sorry, that's what I meant doing the meeting. Get you and Sally to agree to next year's panel.
It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what the title is. It's just come and see Dame and backup singers.
That's a lie.
Come and see the Dame. It's no Jack and the Beanstalk. It's Dame and the Beanstalk and the other two.
That's a lie.
Oh, she's ready to happy slap you.
That is a lie. That's why we don't do Mother Goose, because Mother Goose is all about the Dame and I don't like it. I prefer being an evil maniac in someone else's story.
Exactly. I think Cinderella appeared for 5 minutes in a Rain Bastard story.
Feel very attacked right now.
Right, what else has been going on? The New Let Tours, is there anything else we'd like to discuss? Drag, TV, politics, snacks?
Well, it's 12 days to the election.
Nice.
Which means it's 13. Oh no, it means 13 days until we find out who it is, because they're doing it differently this year. I was all prepared for on the Thursday night, be live while the results were coming in and moaning about it. Right? They're now no counting them to the Friday afternoon. I just don't think it's going to work as well. Sitting the Friday afternoon going, well, that's the SNP won this constituency, and Labour's managed to pick up a seat in the list, or all that. The Friday afternoon. 3 o'clock in the morning, the Friday, the results come in, and you're sitting there in full drag going, well, they're a cunt. they're a cunt, and now by some miracle or catastrophe, they'll now be running the country.
That's been the last 3 prime ministers.
Aye. Only 3?
It goes a bit further back than that.
They've all been cuntish.
I think there'll be quite a few. I'm trying to remember.
But it's kind of the last 3 were like, how the fuck did that happen? How did they win?
How
like,
the fuck did Boris Johnson become Prime Minister? That's what I want to know.
That's what I'm talking about. The last couple have been, how did you get in? The rest have been like, oh, no, we've all voted for you, we just don't like you. We understand how you might have got elected and won. Yours, I'm like...
It doesn't make sense her becoming Prime Minister. She's been Home Secretary, nobody else wanted the job and all that.
But I mean, they voted for it, she just appeared.
Was Boris Johnson a practical joke?
We'll see if it is, it's running too long. It's no fun anymore. Get that out my office. Get that out my country.
He spent 2.6 million on a briefing room that they're now not going to use. Spent however much money on his girlfriend.
Well, come on, look at me. You know he needs to pay for it.
Exactly.
No, but he had a girlfriend that he was spending public funds on while engaged to someone else.
I can't wait till he leaves office and we just go, bye, driver. Bye, driver.
I am sorry. How the fuck is Boris Johnson getting his end away with two let's be honest, quite attractive women, and I can't even get a quickie behind a buffer bin?
I want to know why the other 2 are getting paid and I didn't.
That's your problem.
He looks like a colouring book that's yet to be coloured in, and I'm just like, how is he getting that? And I look like this and I can't get any.
I mean, I understand my hair's a mess, but have you seen his?
It kind of looks like when you print something and your computer takes a fit and it starts going
blue.
And the word of Dorothy Paul is not pun, I'm hanging the right way.
Dominic Cummings is coming out with all these sort of stories and scans about him now. His NDA must be finished. Because apparently he used donor funds to redo Downing Street or something.
Sure, he's not homosexual, that's decorating.
Right. But that's like
red
all
flags.
Things which are clear breaches of the ministerial code. But no way around about it. Sending texts to Dyson, that's the Hoover guy.
Right, stuck me.
Tell them, don't worry, we'll sort out your tax. Now, to be fair, it never actually happened. Never actually end up making the ventilators, right? And
but they make a smashing hand dryer.
Wonderful job. How? Anyway, although I was wondering, right? See if Dyson had made the ventilators, would that then mean that the patients were starting to pick up very well?
How long have you been thinking about that, man?
Aye.
I said it wrong, but I knew where I was going with it.
Dyson do make a cracking hand dryer. The new ones are a bit weird.
I shite your rhino, but cracking hand dryer.
Aye.
The splashback's awful.
Have you seen the new Dyson Airblade? You don't stick your hand in the hole. It's like
there's a big long tube and then it shoots out twice here and these two bits shoot out air at you.
And you're like, you can actually see if you spilled something. You could dry it. You could dry your crotch.
When I get too excited, I can dry it up.
You know how like 96 Bombs always at some point had somebody like with
I'm at a funny age, I dribble.
Trying to like dry a spill, right, that made it look as if they'd peed themselves with a hand. It was a can of Coke or whatever. These airblades literally shoot the air towards you. You go like that with your hands.
I remember good back note.
How strong's the air pressure? Because it might just excite you again.
Quite strong.
Oh, I know, quite strong.
But remember, even though it's called the blow job, there's the blowing action's no use, so you wouldn't get too excited.
Doesn't take that much to get me going, not gonna lie.
I'm useless. I got fired for a blow job. That's about it, man. I can't keep a job because I can't keep a job.
I really want to tell the jokes that we heard last night, but I know it's inappropriate.
Do you want me to tell them?
You might as well.
No, because we were all there in Glasgow last night, and a friend of a friend told us.
Aye. It
was the most inappropriate jokes I've ever heard in my life, but I pissed myself laughing.
Right.
I would tell you, but I don't feel like we can on live.
I don't feel like we can on live.
I mean, it's not like it's going to be too soon or anything, but.
Aye.
Right, okay.
We'll tell you quickly when we come off, right? We'll tell you quickly when we log off.
When we end the live, we'll tell you all the jokes. Some of my crackers.
You'll see them on Monday at 8:30.
What?
You'll see them on Monday at 8:30.
Monday at 8:30, aye.
Probably half my jokes, I know.
There was a joke
I'm telling you.
And I decided not to. You told me, can you steal it? And I can't remember what joke it is now. So I really hope that I don't steal it. I bet no, they were crackers. The best ones is the ones that were Reeds.
Do you know what I'm allergic to? Toothpaste.
Toothpaste? Oh, you've got summer teeth. Some are green, some are yellow, some are missing.
That was a good time.
I did like that one. But no, the other jokes may be offensive to more sensitive viewers. Especially like we holiday to Portugal. Right, we'll wrap this up. Dinner.
Well, you're gagging to tell the jokes, right? We'll wrap this up.
Be nearly church anyway.
I'll be back next Saturday. Is it? Yes, we're back next Saturday, aren't we, Norman?
Yes.
Aye, we'll be back next Saturday. And I'll be on live on Monday doing musicals, movies, and mayhem at 8:30 on the Anti-Effie page and the Rest of Girls page. Broadcast live from the Britannia Panopticon, and Normally Divine will be live on Thursday at
7:30.
7:30.
On the Normally Divine Facebook page, but I'll share it everywhere.
And what's that show called?
Getting to know me, getting to know about me.
Geez, have you got anything coming up for people to sort of see you during the week?
Just my
Just
TikTok
follow
and
your
Instagrams.
TikTok, your
Whenever I've
Twitter,
got time
your
for it.
followers.
So you can go and follow her on TikTok, Instagram, OnlyFans.
That's launching next week.
Is it at Giza Gobble? Is that
Yeah,
your
just
name?
Giza Gobble, yeah.
Giza Gobble on all good social media platforms. She needs the followers. You better come get them. I mean, I've got about 300 on TikTok, so I'm not at a bit, and I'm kind of famous on there. So.
Oh, that's
Really.
I can't be here.
Well, we'll see you all soon. Tatty, bye.
Bye, driver.
Bye.